Hello, in this video we will look at the hormones for fluid balance. So the three types of hormone as a endocrine system, which that is produced for the blood pressure balance as well as the hormone for fluid balance. So first of all is the aldosterone, and the second is the antidiuretic hormone ADH, and the third one is the natriuretic peptides, which that is the use for the we will discuss about. So first of all we will discuss about the antidiuretic hormone. So the antidiuretic hormone is released from the neurohypophysis, the posterior pituitary gland. So first of all we will look at the antidiuretic hormone. So the antidiuretic hormone, which that is when increase the plasma osmolality and decrease the blood volume and increase the sodium, will lead to increase the antidiuretic hormone. Release from the hypothalamus is the antidiuretic hormone releasing factor, which that is released by the neurons, stimulate to production of the posterior pituitary cell to secrete the antidiuretic hormone into the blood. So the plasma osmolality when increase, but the decrease of the blood volume due to the loss of the blood or another things, or the basically is the less amount of water, which that is basically, and increase of the sodium. So basically when increase of the sodium, while the blood volume will be decreased due to the water loss or due to the basically something. So the neurons produces antidiuretic hormone, stimulate to vasopressin production. So this is antidiuretic hormone is also known as the vasopressin. When enter into the blood through a pituitary gland, it will be bound with a receptor or present in the endothelial cell of the blood vessel to constrict, and it means the constriction of the blood vessel to lead more high blood pressure. So that is increase the high blood pressure, and that's hormone is lead to increase the blood pressure during the blood loss, for example during the injury, the loss of blood, or on the other hand the water loss. So let's understand about the mechanism of the antidiuretic hormone. This is the basically used for the uptake of the sodium, as well as sorry, not uptake of the sodium but water. So it will, here is the nephron, which that is we are understanding the basic general structure of the nephron, which contain abdomen capsule, proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule, and here is the collecting duct. So this is the picture of the nephron. So here is the afferent arteriole, which that is going toward the glomerulus, while the efferent arteriole, which that is used for the reabsorption to make a vasa recta. So here is the afferent arteriole, and here is the glomerulus, and here is the efferent arteriole, which that is used for the reabsorption again, which that is a reabsorption of the filtrate. So again uptake of the mineral and ion. So here is the kidney. So here is the cortex part, which that's upper part is the glomerular part as well as the Bowman capsule, while the medulla is basically contain a vasa recta, which that is produce the vasa recta. So here we will understand that is when move the antidiuretic hormone in the collecting duct to uptake the water by production of the aquaporine channel 2. This aquaporine is produced due to the antidiuretic hormone production, and 10% water is absorbed into the blood, into the efferent arteriole, and increase the water into the blood to increase the volume of the blood. So it will be increase the blood pressure. So the antidiuretic hormone target the proximal convoluted tubule and collecting duct to increase the aquaporine channel, and the water reabsorption and fluid volume will be increased. So that is the vasa recta, which that is also lead to enter the water into the loop water will move into the efferent arteriole from the loop of Henle also. So next is the aldosterone. Aldosterone is function same, but it is target to the sodium uptake. So let's begin to understand. Here is the adrenal gland, which that is contain a adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla, which adrenal cortex produce the aldosterone. Aldosterone is basically aldosterone will increase the renin angiotensin aldosterone system is basically increased by this, and when decrease the blood volume and blood pressure, as well as decrease of the sodium and increase of the potassium in the serum, blood serum, to lead the increase of the aldosterone production. So the renin angiotensin aldosterone system is depend to the aldosterone hormone. So it will be low blood volume to increase the renin angiotensin aldosterone system, short for RAS. And basically aldosterone will lead to produce uptake of the sodium, and the loss of the potassium will lead to produce the hypokalemia, which that is the loss of the potassium. So the renin and angiotensin aldosterone system is depend to the aldosterone. So the renin and angiotensin system is basically the tensin is produced from the glomerulus, juxtaglomerular part of the nephron, which that is produced the renin. So the aldosterone will enter into the blood circulatory system, which that is lead to uptake of the sodium from the distal convoluted tubule and proximal convoluted tubule. And in the same way, the potassium will lead to ENaC production and increase of the ENaC and increase of the sodium potassium ATPase pump, which that is ATP used to increase the sodium uptake for the retention of the into the blood to increase the water, and it means the increase of the water to increase the blood pressure. So that is the linked together. So let's learn about the Neteratic Peptides, which that is used for the also used for the basically it is opposite to the aldosterone and antidiuretic hormone. So it mean is used for the vasodilation. So it is produced from the due to the high blood pressure and blood volume when increased due to the aldosterone activity as well as the antidiuretic hormone, which that is high blood pressure and blood volume will lead to increase the stretching of heart wall, and this stretching of the heart wall will increase the natriuretic peptides. This natriuretic peptide will be increased to blood volume as well as the fluid homeostasis, and that is the basically the opposite to antidiuretic hormone and aldosterone. So basically important thing is that here is the ventricle and atrium of the blood, which that is wall of the heart, which that is increase the aldosterone. This aldosterone will vasodilation to decrease the blood pressure. So let's learn a bit more about the natriuretic peptides. So the opposite to aldosterone as well as the antidiuretic hormone. Anti mean against, the diuretic mean the diuresis. So basically it is anti. So it is here is the when move into the blood vessel, which that is bind with the natriuretic peptide receptor. After the binding with the natriuretic peptide receptor, which that lead to vasodilation, while on the other hand the inhibit the renin angiotensin aldosterone system. Why? Because it is opposite, and it is increase the increase the vasodilation to decrease the blood pressure. So it means the vasodilation will lead to decrease the blood pressure. So after the decreasing of the blood pressure, basically the natriuretic peptides, it is in two types. These are in two types, ANP and BNP. So the natriuretic peptide is also targeting to the vasodilation of the efferent arteriole. After the vasodilation of the afferent artery of the nephron of the glomerulus to increase the glomerular filtration rate, it means the increase of the filtration of the sodium and potassium, which that is lead to decrease the blood pressure due to the decreasing of the sodium into the blood after the filtration. So here is the Bowman capsule and proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule, and collecting duct. So the here is the juxtaglomerular cell which that is produce the renin will stop for renin production. So the renin will be stopped. So the function of the renin to increase the blood pressure while it will be stopped due to the natriuretic peptides. So it is the opposite to the renin. So the sympathetic activity will be decreased due to the natriuretic peptide, while the increasing of the sympathetic activities sympathetic nervous system will be increased due to the aldosterone and antidiuretic hormone, which that is lead to increase the blood volume, to increase the blood pressure. That's increase of the blood pressure will increase the basically sympathetic nervous system fight and flight response. So in summary, the aldosterone is produce sodium uptake increase, and antidiuretic hormone is used for the water uptake and reabsorption of the water from the antidiuretic hormone, and natriuretic peptide which that is used for the increase vasodilation and increase the glomerular filtration rate. So that means it will be lead to decrease the blood pressure. So that was the overview of the hormone for fluid balance in the blood. So thanks. Bye.